Done.
Good morning, guys. Yesterday we have seen the concepts like virtual class and abstract class. Right? Virtual class means if one method is there for virtual, means which is allowed to override in the subclasses, then we have to declare virtual class. Okay? Then if you want to have abstract methods in the class, then it should be abstract methods. I hope you understand the abstract methods and visual methods. Now, today we will see this interface. In virtual class, we have seen this by default method body will be provided, and in the abstract class, abstract methods, there will be no body. Right? Yesterday we have already seen this. So today we will see this interface. Interface is also like as abstract class, but in abstract class, we can have the abstract methods as well as uh, other instance methods, means which is having some body as well, right? But in interface, interface is nothing but the abstract class with all abstract methods. So we should not write any body for any of the method. So that is interface. Interface is like an abstract class with all abstract methods. Interface is like an abstract class. It's like an abstract class with all abstract methods. So there will be no instance methods, means the methods with body, there will be no methods. Okay. In subclass, child class which implements the interface should provide body for all abstract methods. Okay. Means inside the interface, whatever the methods you are going to declare, those will be by default abstract methods. Okay, you should not provide any method body inside the interface. And whatever the child class which is implementing this interface. So for the abstract class and virtual class, we used to use a word called extends, but for the interface, we should use implements. Okay, now let me create one interface. Say this public class interface, right? Instead of class, you have to write interface. Okay, so interface should be implements. So Even if you say this, usually how we can declare the abstract methods: public, abstract, method name, method one, or something like this. And then return type should be there. This is how we have to declare the abstract methods. Okay, but here inside the interface, we don't need to write the public as well, abstract as well, because by default there will be abstract. So by default, even if you don't give the access modifier also, by default it will be the public and abstract. Okay? Whatever the methods, syntax will be by default inside the system, how it will be: public, abstract, void, method. This is the syntax for the distance. Okay, and declare like this, and then void method 2. But you cannot provide the method body. Let's say inside the abstract class, if you want to provide the method body for one of the thing, you can do it, right? But in interface, you cannot do it. So this cannot be provided any method body. Okay, so the difference between the abstract class and interface is here interface will be there, okay, and then interface can always be having only abstract methods. You don't need to declare the, you don't need to provide the access modifier or abstract also. By default, public and abstract. Okay, so how can we identify whether this is a abstract method or not? You can simply identify by using the syntax. If there is no method body is provided, then this is abstract method. That's it. Okay, only abstract methods only cannot have a body. Other methods can have. Interface, you can have only abstract methods. So in the example, in the constructing a building, yesterday we talked about the construction of the building, like you have kitchen, hall, bedroom. So which will be, they will provide some default measurement for whatever it is required, that you can override it. This is not like this. But in abstract class, so they will provide length for hall and kitchen. They will leave us for hall, bedroom. We can give our own measurement for the bedroom. But in interface, that example will apply like they will give the total length. Like you can have a bedroom, you can have a kitchen, you can have the hall. Then they will give the liberty to you that you can decide how much length you want. Okay, so that's how. So no measurements will be provided. Means no default functionality will be there. You can divide or you can decide your own functionality. You can write your own functionality. That is the interface here. Okay. Now, how can we use interface? Interface a IMPL means implementation. Why I am giving the IMPL means usually if you want to use any abstract class or virtual class, we used to write a keyword called extends, right? But when you want to use the interface, then you have to use implements. Implements interface name. Interface A. Okay. Then whatever the methods you have inside the interface, all methods body should be provided. Okay. What is this? method 1, method 2. See this? Must implement the method 1, method 2. Public void method 1. You don't need to give the override keyword also. For a virtual class or abstract class, you have to provide the override keyword for the methods, for abstract methods and virtual methods. But for the interface methods, you don't need to provide the override keyword. Okay, so this one interface can be implemented by any number of classes as well. Okay, so this one abstract class or one virtual class can be parent for any number of classes, and one interface can be parent of any number of classes as well. Okay, the same example system chart. So, then examples of creating the instance and calling the methods, this will be same. Here also, this is the instance class, right? This is the class, right? And these are instance methods. What you can do, you can have your own constructors, variables, everything you can use here. Okay. Dot, one. What we can use. Dot, can execute this. Say this. One is executing, method 2 is executing. Okay. So that's how you have to write the interface. So interface is nothing but an abstract class which will having only the abstract methods inside the interface, and the two only abstract methods only be declared. So there will be no body to be provided. And in this child class, so the body should be provided for each and every method. Let's say if you have five methods should be implemented inside the child class. That's mandatory. Okay. If you want to note down that, just note down this. Kruti, pause the video, please. Generally, we will be talking about these three or list set map or collection data types. We have already seen that there are primitive data types, collection data types. The collection data types are list, set, map. Okay. What is a list? And first, what is a collection? Usually, what we usually, let's say, if you want to declare one value, or let's say if you want to store a value, one is integer type, integer, a equals to 10. Let's say if I want to store three values, 10, 20, 30, then what you have to do is you have to use integer b equals to 20. And again, if I want to store another value, integer c equals to 30, right? So if I want to store same type of values like integer integer type of values, more than one value to be stored, then means just collection is nothing but group of elements. collection is group of elements stored in a variable. Okay? Collection is a group of elements stored in a variable. Very simple. Means what is a collection? Collection is group of elements, group of people, or whatever it is. Okay. The same way, if you want to store group of numbers or group of strings, or let's say number of more than one value into a single variable, then that we used to call as collection. Okay. We have three different types of collection variables. I mean collections like list, set, map. Okay. First we will say list. Okay. List is an ordered based collection. Ordered collection. It stores the values. Let's say it stores the elements in an order. List is an ordered collection. It stores the elements in an ordered.
It will maintain the indexing.
So, Sati,
It will maintain the indexing, right? Indexing. Zero, it will start from zero.
yes, yes, it is index based. Tell you what is index. Okay. Now, first, very important is list is a class. List is a class. Means you have to create an object to operate the list. Right? Whatever it is, list is a class. Very important. So we know that if you say class, what is a class? A class is a template or blueprint. Class can contains the variables, methods, and constructors as well. We have already seen, right? Based on the methods, constructors, and then variables, you have to operate the class. Okay, so list is a class. List contains methods. I'll let you know what are the methods. Those methods are very important. Okay, list is an ordered collection. What is an order? Let's say if you say the queue. Okay, if you are trying to reserve a ticket for train, you have to follow the queue. That's like first in, first out means who comes first, they have to go out first, right? The same way, what is a collection? Usually, we have already told you that in the database, if you see this, if this is the Salesforce database, and if you declare one variable like say this is integer a. This a will be the name. Inside the is it stores one value. What is this? Maybe 10, right? That means integer a is a variable or it's a name which given to a specific memory. It stores one value that's called 10, right? But when you declare the variable called list. Let's say if you say this, if you want to store more than one value, then it should be in some order, like say this is one variable space. Okay, the same. If it is in this space, also let me it like this. This is inside the memory. It is declared. Let's say list type. Saying list A. Okay, so now what it does is it creates memory for storing values. Okay. Now the position, if you say this is a queue for reserving a ticket, then here this will be the first position, second position, third position, fourth, fifth, sixth, right? The same way, but in list index, this is called index. Index start from 0, not from 1. Means this is the 0th position, 1st position, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, that means list will be the collection of, or let's say list is a group of elements, a group of objects, whatever it is. In this case, how it will be? It stores the values in an index based. First value will be in the 0 position. Second value will be in the first position. Third value will be in the second position. Fourth value will be in the third position. Okay. But let's say here, what is the list size? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 values will be there. What is the maximum index? 5. Because 6 minus 1. Right? Maximum index is 5 because it starts from 0. Now the maximum size is 6. Okay. Now if you want to get the sixth element, then you have to get the position number. Okay. So I hope you guys understand that. Now what you can do is, let's say one candidate is there at 0 position and 1 position, second position is there, third, fourth is there, fifth is there. Now you want to introduce another position with your recommendation that in the second position, 0, 1, 2. Now you entered one candidate here at third position. Okay, so 0, 1, 2. Okay, second position. If you enter second position, what happens to the fourth position? Well, so currently the person was already there at the third position. Then that person will move back. Means third person will be moved to fourth position, and then the new person will be added here. Or let's say if one candidate is gone, let's say one person was trying to reserve the ticket and he didn't want the thing, then he went out. Then what happens? Let's say if second position candidate is gone, then third position candidate will come to the second position. That is just queue. Okay, adding, removing, right? So I hope you guys understand that this is just index based. Okay, now how to create the instance, syntax of the class, sorry, syntax of the list. Here list usually how to declare one variable data type, then variable name, right? But here list, then we have to store same type of values in a list, because here reservation means they're all working for reservation. One is not for playing cricket, another is not for playing football, one is for reservation. So means all should be same data type. You can store only same type of data types. Okay, let's say integer. Okay, let me give the syntax. Data type. Okay, variable name equals to new keyword, then Do you know that, right? How to create an object, new class name, right? New list of data type. So you have different constructors. For now, I'm giving the default constructor. Okay. Let's say if I want to store list of strings, names, let's say example, storing list of names. Names nothing strings, right? String list string names equals to new list of string. Okay. So is this SF? Methods for each and every functionality. Let's say if you want to add a value, you have a method. Here, should not be this here. And syntaxes, I'll expand one by one. Okay. So first, here, let me write the same list of string names. First, new list of string. Okay. Now here, I want to add one name here, like Prati. If I want to add name, you have a method called list object dot add of element. Okay. Syntax is list object dot add of element. So what you can do, names dot add of, okay, one value, like you can use as this is string type, we are giving inside the single quote, right? Next, I want to add one more. What I can do, names dot add of, say, okay. This is the syntax of add method. When you want to add one element to the list, you have a method called add of element. All are instance methods. Okay, all are instance methods. That's why it's not. So you can note down all the methods. The Apex Developer Guide, we having all this.
Yeah, give me the link.
So I'll give the list later. Practice one by one. What is it?
No, I shared a link, so in that it is having all the.
Names. Okay. If you execute this, it is Ruti, position number 0, position number 1. Okay. You, if you want to add some more values, means Sujit. Okay. Now 0, 1, 2. Okay. If you see that position also, position will be in the same order. Who comes first? Those will be in the first one, second, third. Okay. Now, if I want to add one candidate at first position, means 0 first. What I can do is, there is a method called names dot add of 1, comma. Now, position will be changed. So, Ramesh will be moved to next position. Harish will be moved to first position. So, now, first 0, first, second, third. If you want to see the output. Okay, you have to use all instance methods. Instance methods means list object name dot then method name. Okay, now let's say if you want to remove one value, say I need to remove Sujit. What is the position? 0, 1, 2, 3. Right? So let's say if you remove names dot remove of 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. So Ramesh will be moved out. Okay, you mean seems like if you want to add a value by default, if you give add then element, then it will be added to the last position of the list. Okay, if there are 5 elements, At fifth position, next element will be added by default. If you want to add one value at specific position, then you have to mention the index here. Okay, index, then element. Index means at what position you want to add. Okay, so this removed index only. If you want to add, if you want to remove a candidate from the specific index, then you can use this one. Okay, so any questions on this one? Add, remove. Okay, now let's say if I want to get the value of at position number 2. Okay, so as this is string data type, means if the list is storing string values, then output also will be string name. Let's say name 4 or name 3 equals to names dot get. If you want to get a value based on the index only, right? So third position means 2, right? It's based on index. Get a value from a position. Okay. Now system dot equal to. So now here first 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So Ramesh is removed. Now how many elements? 2, 3 elements will be there. 0, 1, 2. What will be the last element? Sujit will be the last element. It should get. Okay. This is how list works. Now let's say what happens. You are giving number 10, but there are no 11 elements, right? It will throw some exception like list out of bounds exception. List index out of bounds means those many elements are not there in the list. Okay, so you should be very careful. Okay, so any questions on this one? Add, remove, then we have seen get. Okay, we have a lot of other methods also. I'll explain one by one. Oh, here I have given the here I have the methods. Methods, where is it? Down all these things. How all the things, visual methods, abstract methods, interfaces, actions. Okay, note on this. First one, add method. You have the syntax as well, add of element, right? Then add at specific position. If you want to copy one list from another list, let's say here the example is I need to create another one list string names copy to new list of string. What you can do is names copy